Welcome to How to Survive with Danielle and Kristine. We're here to help you get through the catastrophes that could kill you.
Avalanches, bear attacks, knife fights.
And the stuff that really keeps you up at night.
Texting mishaps.
Sexting mishaps.
Being catfished.
I'm really worried about getting osteoporosis.
Me too.
My bones are like chalk.
I'm getting you a glass of milk right now.
Should we just play the song?
Yeah, okay.
Ground is shaking under our feet. Mountains on fire, flooding in the street. Can't breathe the air, can't fight the feeling. Gobbling down Xanax ain't the way to be dealing. Gotta do better than just getting high. We gotta stick together if we're gonna survive. Ooh, how to survive. Ooh, how to survive.
Hello and welcome to How to Survive with Danielle and Kristine. I'm Danielle Koenig.
I'm Kristine Kimmel.
Chris, how are you today?
Well, I was just cracking some bones over here.
Yeah. Getting ready to get old, just cracking bones.
Getting ready.
You know, I reached for my purse in the back of the car today, so I'm sure you know that I'll be in traction soon. I seem to have pulled some sort of muscle I didn't know existed by doing that.
You know what we might need?
Yeah.
Boniva.
Boniva.
Remember those commercials?
I do.
Wasn't that Sally Field?
Of course it was Sally Field.
Why isn't she promoting Boniva anymore?
I don't know. I haven't seen her in a long time.
And you know what I also haven't seen? Boniva commercials.
Whoa. Coincidence? Did they both go the way of...
Maybe Boniva got
The
taken off the
dinosaur?
market because
Let's start a rumor that Boniva got taken off the market. What if it makes your bones so brittle that you actually fly like the flying nun? You just start, a good gust of wind comes and just takes you up.
then I want to take Boniva.
Yeah, I think that's actually a good side effect. Remember last week when I said that there was possibly a rat outside of my house running down and my son tried to convince me it was a possum?
Correct.
I said that on the air, right?
I think you did.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Turns out our Ring camera caught it and it was a possum.
Oh, okay. Are you?
And then he came
okay.
back. So I'm okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not as freaked out by possums as I
Okay.
am by rats.
And is this kind of like your pet possum now?
God, no.
Okay.
No, it's still outside. And, you know, I mean, I haven't seen him since, but I think we can buy one other time. I was just happy that it wasn't a rat.
Well, do you know we have a family of rats?
Jesus Christ. Of course you do.
Living
in a rat box.
No, living in our garbage can.
What?
You know the big garbage cans you get from the city?
Yeah.
Well, they chewed a hole in the side of it at the bottom,
Oh my God.
and they've been living in there.
So every time you empty out, walk me through this.
Okay.
Every time you bring the garbage out to the garbage can for garbage day,
It's full of rats.
it's full of rats. When you
Correct.
say full,
Like
I'm going to throw up. What do you mean full? I'm going to lose my shit.
more than 2, less than 10. I'm
Every
guessing.
time.
Well, listen, my husband takes that garbage.
Oh, so
down.
you haven't seen it?
I have not. I have seen rats scurrying away from that trash can. Yes, next to the
But
garage.
they're in it. It's in an empty trash can. So what are they in there for? Or do you put the bags in throughout the week? Throughout the week,
we have to take it out of our house and down there.
Right.
So he's tried to repair it with like some kind of caulking gun,
Yeah.
to fill in that hole.
Yeah.
They chewed through that. They were like, ha ha ha. And now we've got to request into the city for a new trash can, which I'm sure will
They'll
take.
just chew through anyway.
They don't care.
What about that
Rats don't give a fuck.
flexi, that tape that's, like you can fix a boat with it?
Like duct tape?
No, that guy who's always on. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, it's just like
I don't
there's
know
like a
this guy.
series of internet commercials that
Okay.
kids are obsessed with, but it's just like a flex.
Oh, I got to get some.
I don't know. Try that.
Okay.
Honestly, maybe that'll work.
The flexi tape.
Oh my God, that's so disgusting. So what does Sven do when he sees them? He just shoos them out or something?
I don't know. Maybe he yells at them in German.
I mean, that should work.
9!
Yeah. Is that the only word you know? You speak German now, right?
Very small.
Can you
amounts.
say go away rats?
No.
You could have just said something. I would have believed you. Oh my God. That is
Yeah.
horrifying.
So
I guess that's the price you pay for living up in the hills.
when you live in those mountains, you're just riddled with rats.
And bears and fire threats.
Oh, my daughter almost got shit on by now the other day.
Okay. What happened?
She was walking up our stairs because there's this huge steep set of stairs you have
Yes.
to walk up to get to our house. And my husband was behind her. And apparently this big, beautiful, like almost fully white owl swooped down
Yeah.
right above them and then took a big, giant shit. And it almost landed on my daughter.
Oh my God. Did she freak out?
No,
Did she think it was
no.
funny?
She just was telling it very matter-of-factly.
Oh my God.
She's going to be ready for anything.
I was going to say, you know what? Your kids will end up just so much more like prepared than I am. Just for living in a
Yes.
nice house in the hills.
Just for living up there. They're ready.
Jeez. Well, speaking of fixing tapes with flex tape,
Yeah, let's get
kind
into
of
it.
leads us into today's ridiculous topic.
I can't wait.
How to survive being attacked by pirates.
You know what? This actually ties into a book I just read with my son, Dr. Dolittle.
Oh, I've never read that. There's a pirate attack?
There is a pirate attack. Dr. Dolittle's on a ship with his talking animals,
Yeah.
and they get attacked by pirates.
Is the premise of Dr. Dolittle, because I've never seen any form of it or read it, that animals can talk or only he can hear them?
He can understand them.
Uh-huh.
Only he can understand them. He has a gift.
Or he's schizophrenic.
Yes, he has a mental illness,
Right.
and we all indulge it.
So all the animals can understand each other and he can understand them and they can understand him. And they speak English?
They speak animal, but he knows the animal he learns the animal language,
And all animals speak the same language?
different languages.
Oh, so he is a multilingualist.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
But his German is shit.
Everyone's, German is shit, except Germans.
Okay, so they're. Oh, and then Pippi Longstocking. There's also a lot of pirate stuff. Remember Pippi Longstocking?
Yeah.
Pippi. Remember, because Annika and Tommy, they're all
That's
dubbed.
German too. Pippi
Yes.
Longstrom.
Longstrom, yeah, and they're all dubbed. So in
Yes.
the '70s movies, Annika was always like, "Pippi, don't go out." It always sounded horrible. And remember? Oh,
No.
I was obsessed with. Oh, you never saw this?
I did, but I don't remember it.
Oh, okay. I was a little bit obsessed with them, but yeah. Okay, so there's pirating going on. Well, there's pirating going on in the real world, Chris, and I think you should get used to it.
I want to get used to it.
First, I'm going to give you some facts about modern day pirating.
Let's get into it.
Pirates don't use sabers and swords anymore, Chris. They use AK-47s and RPGs in the waters off Somalia and Southeast Asia.
Can you tell me what an RPG is?
Yeah, a
please?
rocket-propelled grenade.
Oh, okay.
So it's like the thing where it's like over your shoulder and it's a big tube. You know? Like at it when you go to a football game and they shoot T-shirts at you.
Oh,
except that they're grenades.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never been to a football game, but
That was
I've seen what you speak
Yeah.
of. Also, in my imagination, you would just throw a grenade with your hand, but I guess that's not how it's done.
Well, I get further with the.
That makes sense.
Yeah, with an RPG.
Because
yeah.
the tube probably has like a
Yes.
button that you push
I don't know if it's a button, but
that's red.
I like to think that it's a string that comes out of the back that you set a match
like
to.
a pop it kind of thing.
Oh,
that's
that too,
like on
yeah.
on 4th of July where you push,
Right.
you pull. I always am so afraid to pull that string.
Wait,
and
what is that?
The confetti comes out.
Oh, I don't know this.
Yeah, there's those little plastic things that you legally can get in California, like at Ralph's or whatever, and they're like different colors, and you pull the string at the back, and then just confetti pops out.
So how's that a firework? It's not a firework.
It's not. That's why you
Oh,
can buy
I see.
them.
It's like it's okay. Gotcha.
So it's like that,
So why
but
are you
much-
scared to?
I just when things explode, I don't like it. I don't like Jack in the Boxes.
Oh,
I don't
gotcha.
like anything that's like dun, dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun,
Jack in the
dun,
Box is
dun,
fun for
dun,
no
dun,
one.
dun, boom.
It's just for horror films. There's
Yeah.
nothing fun about a Jack in the Box,
It's
right?
Just, just let you know that the clown with the knife is about to come out.
Yeah, it's just also let you like kids. You never know what's going to happen in life.
Yeah,
Like,
everything is unpredictable.
right. Just waiting for the other shoe to drop. Mm-hmm. Okay, so yeah, a rocket propelled grenade
Okay.
is. I think they were very fashionable in Afghanistan and Iraq wars. Is where I first heard about them.
Should we get into that topic?
No. No, we should not.
Okay, let's moving on.
Okay. So later I'm going to tell you the advice about what to do. But first I'm going to let you know this. Because there were lots and lots of piracy going on in Somalia, and it has decreased in recent years. As
Okay.
of October 2015, the high-risk area in East Africa has been reduced in size. The old high-risk area zone is still a voluntary reporting area, and vessels need to proceed with caution. The message from maritime security companies currently is, do not let your guard down if traveling in the famously dangerous waters of Somalia, because the risk of piracy hasn't been completely stamped out.
Okay.
So it's still... Okay. So this episode is going to be geared toward the wealthy.
Oh. Everyone
Because they
else
need their say too.
tune out.
Not just the wealthy, but yachts
Okay.
are intrinsically more vulnerable to pirate attacks than other kinds of ships. So it's important to know the most susceptible areas on board and how to protect them. A yacht has always been inherently more vulnerable than a commercial ship due to its relatively low freeboard and perceived high value.
Low freeboard.
I believe that means how you enter the yacht.
It's easier to get onto
Yes.
a yacht than probably a cruise ship, which is much...
Exactly.
It's higher.
Exactly. Super yachts, designed with huge swim platforms that give easy access to the water for guests to swim, and board tenders, guests, will also give easy access to potential attackers. The problem is, yachts are designed for easy access. There are big swim platforms, lots of glass, that's not bulletproof, glass sliding doors into the owner's suite, because you want that view. Super yachts are designed as pleasure craft, not designed with armed threat in mind, so they are easy targets.
You know, it's hard for me almost to feel bad for this person.
I know. I know. It was a very weird thing to... Weird.
I'm like, this episode is for 007.
Yeah. Well, here's my thinking.
Yeah.
It's not like crazy impossible that you might know someone who's wealthy and one day end up on a yacht that is hijacked by pirates.
I could realistically still become friends with Beyonce.
You sure could. Also, what if you go on The Price is Right and you win a yacht?
True.
So that's who I'm really talking to here. Game show contestants.
Mm-hmm. And people that might become friends with Beyonce.
And yes, and the people who are just wealthy beyond measure. So another issue is how fast the yacht travels. Some super yachts only reach a maximum speed of 17 knots, so not so super.
No, what 17 knots do you think?
I think
means?
17 knots is like five fish per minute. You pass 5 fish per minute. I think that's because that's the American way of measuring it.
That is.
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, what is so super?
Well, to give you a comparison, pirates' skiffs, that's the kind of boat they're on, can run 35 to 40 knots.
Ooh.
So if you're only running half...
You're getting caught by a pirate.
You're half as fast.
P.S. I was just on a skiff.
You were?
Not a pirate skiff.
Okay.
Well, it might have been. It didn't identify itself.
Okay.
But I don't know that much about boats or boating, but I do know I was on a skiff, and it's about as big as this table.
Oh, really? Okay, so why were you on a skiff?
We took our son fishing in San Diego.
Okay.
And so they said, we have a skiff available. And we were like, okay.
Did you try to overtake some wealthy people staying at the hotel Coronado?
I considered it, but I didn't want to climb up their sliding board.
Oh, yeah, it's hard. It's slippy.
Yeah, it's
That's why I wear boat
slippy,
shoes.
and I didn't have the right footwear.
Yeah.
But I thought, well, we'll get a pontoon boat. You know, those long, sort of flat, big square things that have like nice bench seats and big shade, and we'll all just kind of lounge and
Right.
And then they brought this tiny little.
Is it like a raft?
It's like the size of a canoe.
Okay.
Or smaller. It's tiny, tiny. And I'm like, we're going to flip this thing over. It's got a little tiny motor in the back, and that's how you steer it with the motor, like this handle situation.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, so.
Did he enjoy it?
Loved it.
Oh, he did? Did he catch
Loved
any
it.
fish?
Nope, didn't even have a bite.
Yeah, my understanding of the fishing of fishing as a leisure activity is that it's really just about being out there, and you don't necessarily ever catch anything.
I think you have to really know what you're doing. Mm-hmm. We do not.
Okay. Yachts can armor themselves by getting internal covers for large windows or buy ballistic film, which is like cling film, which is sort of reminiscent of the home invasion episode when we were talking about, remember that film that keeps the glass sort of in place so it's harder to...
It doesn't break as easily.
Yeah, and
it's not bulletproof glass, but it's like this sticky stuff.
Yeah.
that goes over the glass.
Well, actually, this says it makes windows bulletproof.
Oh.
So maybe it's not the kind you buy on Amazon. It's probably a more industrial version.
You buy it on a special website.
Yeah.
Like,
barbed wire, strobe lights, and sound alarm deterrents are also used to keep attackers at bay. Yeah, it's a special website for like rich assholes.
yeah, it's called richassholes.com.
richassholes.com. They sell bulletproof cling film for your yacht, egg cup holders,
Yes.
and pearl polishing kits.
Fancy slippers too. Like those really fuzzy
Yes.
slippers.
And also slippers that are embossed with your family crest on
Of course,
them.
everything has the family crest.
Yes.
Even the bulletproof glass.
Yeah.
Those fucking people love to put their name on shit. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm cursing so much.
No, you're right. That's totally true. The biggest danger to super yachts in terms of pirate attacks is crew complacency.
Oh.
The weakest link is the crew.
But that also sounds a little bit like
Shaming
something a rich person would say.
Yeah, but I think the point is this, that they'll act on the side not of caution, but of not wanting to be alarmist. So they won't call something in if they suspect.
Okay.
Like they're saying, call it in.
Okay.
Call it in.
If you suspect anything.
Yeah, just act immediately. One way to protect your yacht in unsafe waters is to be visibly armed.
Timmy, I know you're only 7, but I want you to hold this AK-47 at all times.
To me, it makes sense because my idea of a yacht is just like cocaine runners.
Yes.
Or not runners, but the kingpins. Cocaine.
Okay.
Do we still have cocaine kingpins?
I hope so.
Yeah, we don't want to democratize the cocaine industry. You still want it to be like a monarchy.
Yeah.
So cocaine kingpins with yachts,
Yeah.
with armed guards and sunglasses.
I want cocaine queen pins.
Oh, that's, I'm sure, going to be a new show. Cocaine queen pins. Write it down.
Bloop, bloop, bloop. Got it. You know what I want?
What?
I want to know, well, I have this question when you were saying all this. So, you know, J-Lo and Ben Affleck are now, back together.
Yeah.
And they're on yachts all the time because we
Yeah.
see the pictures of him like holding her butt, looking at her
Right.
butt, laying
Which
on
you
her
could
butt.
blame him.
I would.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
I just
magical.
stare at it all day.
Are there armed guards all around just that we don't see in the pictures? Just men in black standing there with AK-47s?
They may not be, they might be below deck. Mm-hmm. Maybe they're just kind of hanging out. But
Yeah.
I don't, does she go anywhere without security? I would think she always has security.
Yeah.
Because she's so high profile.
Yeah.
But I don't really know. And she's not like a low key person. You know what I mean? Like, she's like not above having security and feeling the need to have security. So she might.
But they're probably also not like yachting off the coast of Somalia.
There probably are not.
But
no.
Maybe they're just vulnerable for lots of reasons.
Yeah. I don't imagine they're steering the boat themselves. I'm sure there's a whole staff. So why not have security along with the catering and...
But Ben's probably like, can I steer?
Oh, he totally is.
Can I steer a little bit? Let me steer.
Oh my God. You know I'm Batman, right? I can steer a boat. They should do an episode of that Below Deck show on Bravo with J-Lo and like just the staff who has to work with famous people, with just J-Lo and
Yeah.
Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Stuff they have to deal with.
Oh my God, he wants another malted. I don't know. I just picture him drinking malteds. Okay. So this is just to give you an idea. When you are on a cruise ship, there are things that the staff has to do to ensure your safety. So I'm just letting you, because, you don't have to be, cruises are expensive, but lots of people go on cruises. This is yeah. So, and I can't imagine a more fun place to be during a pandemic than on a cruise.
A lot of people have been on cruises a lot longer than they wanted to be.
That's true. It was an extended stay. Okay. The ship's speed is considered one of the most effective ways to prevent a pirate attack.
But what about the whole thing with cruises that they stop at different islands and the people get off and they go like buy tchotchkes and then...
Yeah, but probably not in areas infested with pirates. I'm just going to guess that Puerto Vallarta doesn't have a lot of... I just say Puerto Vallarta because we've been watching The Love Boat at home.
Okay. Oh, how is it?
Oh, horrible.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But...
Is there a new Love Boat?
No.
Oh, you're
Chris,
watching the
we're
original?
Yeah. Well, when I say we, my husband is watching Love Boat, and I got stuck, literally couldn't stop watching it because it's captivating. And I was trying to figure out why I watched it as a kid, and I think it's the same reason I watch it now, is that the clothes are just a very 70s chic, fashionable, or not fashionable, but enchanting.
I loved the Love Boat when I was a kid.
Right.
Loved it.
But it didn't make you laugh. It didn't make you feel anything, but you loved it. It was comforting.
Loved it. And then Fantasy Island came on after,
Right.
which was the real
Deal.
reason I
Yeah,
wanted
of
to
course.
be at home with that TV that night.
Did you have a crush on Mr. Rourke?
You know, I don't remember feeling a crush.
No, you were just, it was
I just
dark
was like
and deep.
the
and
mystery.
It's so...
like there was
right.
sometimes it was even like kind of scary.
The pilot is terrifying.
Really?
I don't know if it's terrifying, but it's very sinister.
Okay.
If you ever see it, it's they made a sharp right angle, right turn after the pilot. Okay. I know I'm a little all over the place. I apologize for that.
Please,
I got my
like
information from a lot of websites catering to wealthy people. And I had to prove, for some reason, they wanted to see my papers before I even got on the site. And I explained that I'm only Jewish in by both my parents.
Barely Jewish.
So keep all non-lethal weapons handy and ensure they are in proper working condition. Crew members must know how to operate non-lethal weapons during emergency situations.
Wait, what's a non-lethal weapon?
I'm going to guess. I don't know. Wit.
Okay.
Several countries, though, have started allowing armed guards on ships to keep pirates away.
Okay.
Which I can't really argue against. Before entering high-risk zones, the ship's crew would be properly briefed on the preparations taken, and piracy drill would also be conducted. So just understand that it's when you get on a boat, these things have been taken into consideration.
And when you're going to go on a cruise, which as you know, I will never go on a cruise since I worked on a cruise ship. And
right, we're going to get into that for sure.
Do you think that they would alert you as a passenger, hey, this cruise goes into some high-risk areas?
I don't know that a commercial cruise would go into a high-risk area, but what if it's maybe.
Liability-wise, it seems like they wouldn't do that.
I mean, that's a really good point. They should let you know. Maybe they expect you to do your own research, but I'm sure you have to sign waivers and stuff when you go on a cruise that limits liability. I
would think.
I don't know. Okay. So, use physical barriers if available. If possible, use physical barriers such as razor wires and electrified fence along the periphery of the ship to prevent pirates from boarding.
This sounds like a fun Disney cruise, doesn't it?
Oh, they should get the mascots, the characters.
Yeah.
But, they're not allowed to take off their heads. So you have to see Pluto and Goofy and Daisy Duck strapping wires to the outside of the ship.
And they're all holding AK-47s.
Right. And then with their other hand, they wave to the little kids.
And hug the kid with one arm.
And then they take pictures
weapon in the
with
other.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It's cute.
That is cute. This, though, I thought sounded fun. Also, keep water cannons, ballast fire pumps, and fire hoses ready. Use all kind of barriers that are available to prevent pirates from boarding the ship. That just seems so fun. Like water cannons, like when you go to Legoland.
You know, it'd be great if you could put coins in the water cannons and then the passengers can use them.
Oh, you mean you put coins in to make them work?
Yeah. You know how like if you're at some kind of outdoor place where if you put the coins in, you can see with the telescope.
Yes,
like
exactly.
You're like, oh, it's San Diego. I want to see the view. Can I see Coronado Island? Is Coronado Island a thing?
I know the Coronado Hotel is a thing. So
okay, let's pretend that's a thing.
Sure.
And you're like, if I put 50 cents in, I get to see the island.
That's a great idea.
50 cents, I get to use these water cannons and I can maybe...
And they're Disney dollars, so they're not even like...
No, you got to turn in your money.
You got to turn in the money. It might be a little time consuming. You got to go turn in your money, get the Disney dollars, put them in the machine, but then you feel like you're part of the, it's a small world.
The Disney family.
That's right. This is an interesting point. While many travelers associate piracy with being boarded on the open sea and with men in eyeliner...
Yes, I can't stop thinking about eye patches.
Bracken says the biggest danger is being attacked at anchor, noting that since marinas may cost upwards of $50 a night for docking, many seafarers will anchor out. So they're like a half a mile from shore and they anchor there. Fee. Right. And even if you don't consider yourself wealthy, the very fact that you have a boat may make you come across that way to a pirate.
Okay.
So you're a poor
target.
person with a
You might have sold your home.
Yes, and are living on a
boat.
Right. You might be Senator Manchin, who lives on a boat.
Does Senator Manchin live on a boat?
He lives on a boat.
Oh.
And then people
good for him.
Like came up to him in little boats to ask him why the hell he's not voting for the bills. And they like came up.
Did they really?
Yeah. They came up on their little boats.
On their skiffs.
Yeah.
Almost like a pirate.
Almost like a pirate. Yeah. And he came out and he did answer them. I mean, he talked to them. He didn't really answer because there is no answer. But
he couldn't come up with a good reason because there isn't one.
Right. When people anchor out, they think, I'm not rich. But to people watching me from shore, I'm Bill Gates. Make your boat harder target. Secure your boat's dinghy with a steel cable, as someone coming from shore won't necessarily bring a bolt cutter. They may not be thinking that.
Oh, yeah, they might. How can they? Their hands are full of AK-47s.
Right. If pirates approach you while piloting his 48-foot steel sailing cutter between Panama and Hawaii, this guy who wrote this had a 150-foot steel ship fall in behind him, which he knew felt wrong.
Yeah.
While he had real weapons on board, listen to this. I love this. He broke out a black spray-painted plywood M16, which he constructed at 1.5 times scale so that it looks bigger and more threatening than a real one. This guy could work in Hollywood.
This is a MacGyver fellow.
He adds that at 400 to 500 yards, if pirates are binocularing you and they see someone producing a weapon at that range, they know this is a big risk of getting shot. So when he did this,
yes,
the vehicle turned away.
Okay,
and went somewhere else.
Yeah. I don't even know. I can't even imagine that in my mind. This weapon
It's just like a car.
It's like a cartoon.
It's like a cartoon. Just like a wood weapon he made.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you're seeing it in your binoculars,
you're like,
it looks
boy.
impressive. Yeah. Part of your mental preparation upon first contact with pirates is avoiding capture shock.
Capture shock.
That's when you leave your tampon in too long, right?
I have it right now, I think.
Oh, okay. Gamble says, okay. Who has me? What do they want? And how far are they willing to get it? If my assessment is that these guys are coming on board and killing every single person they're coming in contact with, I need to flee.
Yeah.
But if all these guys want to do is take the ship and need a mode of transportation, I'm just going to ride it out.
Does flee mean jump into the water?
Well, in another part I read, it said, for instance, if you are on a cruise ship, don't go looking for your family. Go to a room and lock yourself in.
Okay.
Basically, go to any, stateroom or whatever they're called, cabins.
Okay.
And lock yourself
in.
Upgrade to it. Yeah. Steal the maids.
Yes.
Key card.
Master key.
Oh, and then
go to a suite.
And then see if you can make animals out of towels. That's what they do on cruises. That's like one of the big pluses is that they make little animals out of the towels they leave you.
I've had that at places that weren't cruises.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
You can get that at other places. You don't have to go on a cruise, people, to get towel animals.
International waters.
No, you can get that at a resort too.
Okay. There's a 3-step strategy, the 3 C's.
Okay.
Calm, connect, and capitalize. You want to be calm.
Remain calm.
You want to be a calming influence. Maintain your composure and don't do anything to escalate the tension.
Okay.
If they say don't look at them, don't look at them.
Oh. They might not feel good about themselves that day.
Yes.
You know what? They might be having a bad hair day.
Right.
They might not feel like they got their moisturizer on, and they might have dry skin, or just they might be feeling,
Their parrot might be on the wrong shoulder. So stupid. Even if the first hours of captivity are hostile, your captors may become bored.
I'm not boring.
And thus receptive enough for you to try the next 2 steps.
Oh, okay.
Okay. By connecting, you want to make yourself appear as a person, not as an object. So this is sort of similar to other things we've heard.
Yeah.
The bear thing. I meant about being like...
I'm a human. I'm a person.
Okay, right.
Remember when you have to, with the bear, say like, hi, I'm a person.
My pronouns are. Okay. By connecting, you want to make yourself appear as a person and not an object. Find a common interest.
Hey,
Mr. Pirate.
We both
do you like knitting?
I like eyeliner. You like eyeliner. Do you get yours from Mac?
Good. Have you made a lot of sourdough bread lately?
Do you watch Succession?
Do you watch Succession? Can you say Succession? A lot of times people will talk about family. What you're trying to do is reverse the Stockholm syndrome. It is easier to kill an object than a person. During the capitalization stage, encourage your captors to seek and find a peaceful resolution. Even if things look like they are not going to go well, make statements like, I'm sure it's going to work out. Or, I'm sure it's going to be okay. Basically stuff you say to your spouse and children.
Yes, yes.
And unless you're certain you can discuss politics, religion, and economics to useful conversational ends, most sources say pick other topics. It's just like Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Whether with relatives or pirates, steer clear.
Yes.
If you're on a cruise, ships nowadays have good security aboard. There is armed security aboard most cruise ships. That's not advertised. In other words, you might not see these guys, like I was saying before.
I don't know. That doesn't necessarily make me feel better to know that there are just lots of men with guns during my vacation.
Well, yeah, but you don't know. You're not thinking about it because you don't see them.
Yeah.
But in case something bad, if the shit goes down,
maybe that's good.
They've got you. If the it's a whole different scenario if the pirates physically have control of you versus their being on board and you being locked in your stateroom. So again, that's what I was saying. Stay in your room.
Don't go wandering to the gift shop.
It is not time to get souvenirs.
No.
It is not time.
You don't need that magnet.
You don't need the magnet. With your name misspelled on it. You don't need to do.
They're not going to have your name. They never have your name.
They don't. And don't think you can just, that's close enough. No, you're not Kirsten. You're Kristen.
Yeah.
And don't think it's time to do the cruise scavenger hunt.
It's not.
There'll be time later.
There's a real hunt, and it's for the bounty on your head.
Okay, well, that was absolutely ridiculous. But
I loved it.
Yes. So
we're all safe from. Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. We're all safe from pirates now.
Yes. When we come back, we just talked about getting attacked by pirates. When we come back, we're going to have a guest on, and we're going to talk about getting attacked while in the company of a pirate.
I can't wait for that story.
Oh, I can't either. So please stay tuned.
Don't go anywhere. Bye.
Bye. Hello and welcome back to How to Survive with Danielle and Kristine. Kristine, how was your break?
I really enjoyed myself. I watched you moisturize.
Yes.
We've had a mint conversation.
Yep.
Our guest is here.
It's very
top
exciting.
of the world.
In fact, we were just talking about what to do if you're attacked by pirates, and now we're going to talk about what to do if you're attacked while in the presence of a pirate. And our guest is Murray Valeriano, and he's a great stand-up comic, and he's also the host of For What It's Worth, which you apparently, Kristine, are listening to as a podcast.
I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
Right, but I have seen it on YouTube. It is a game show where 3 comics compete, right? Do you want to? Well, you explain it, Murray.
I'm waiting to be introduced.
Hi, Murray. Welcome to the show.
It's always that new podcast where you don't know, even though I've listened to it, you don't know when you're supposed to come in. And
You're right on time.
Okay. Apparently not. I missed the moisturizing. So I'm kind of bummed about that.
Had to, my hands are dry and old.
Okay.
So explain For What It's Worth.
For What It's Worth, it's a music and comedy game show. It's hard. Like I want to say it's a trivia show, but it's really not. There's some music trivia to it, but it's really more games and stuff based on music and bands. And you come for the music, but you stay for the comedy. I have comedians. Danielle has not only listened to it, but she's been on it
twice.
I listened to the episode with you, Danielle.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Oh, great.
You did really well. I was very impressed with you.
And I'm going to be on a new one pretty soon.
Maybe even, I don't know when this drops, but very soon.
It'll probably have already dropped by the time our episode comes out.
Well, then look for Danielle's coming up next week.
Right.
But
it's super fun.
Comics and comedians and actors and writers, musicians, a few rock critics on there. It's a good time.
Any famous musicians have been on there?
Tony Thexton.
I know Tony Thaxton.
Tony
Very
Thaxton
good.
of the Circle of Podcast. I have one who agreed to do it, but I cannot say.
Oh, okay. So coming up.
Yeah, and it's big.
Oh my
Big.
gosh.
Like, I'm surprised. Like, hopefully, obviously he hasn't watched it. Because
he doesn't, right.
And saw the numbers it's getting, or else he would have passed. But yeah, so I'm excited about
Is it
that.
Eddie from Eddie and the Cruisers?
Oh, I loved Eddie.
Now, speaking
so
of
much.
movies we've seen or haven't seen, but I can only reference that. I've never seen it. But I know the story of it.
Well, so this is one of those movies that I will not go back and watch because it held such a place in my heart.
Mine
and I'm
too.
terrified that it'll just be horrible.
Oh,
so
right,
I
of
don't want to
course.
go like I've made the mistake of rewatching My Bodyguard and things like that just do not hold up whatsoever.
I feel like you were right on that.
right.
I feel like it won't hold up.
Yeah, I really like the songs in.
Yeah, he had that very like
so sexy.
That was John
Sexy.
Cafferty, right?
It was John
Band?
Cafferty. Yes. Yeah, very sexy.
Side note, I did a book report on My Bodyguard like 4 years in a row. And then I switched to The Hobbit.
Wait a second. First of all, I didn't know it was a book.
Well, it's not a book. It was it was a movie that they made into a book.
Oh no, you did a book report on a novelization of a movie? Did it have like Matt Dillon on the cover of the
No,
book?
it had Linderman, whatever that guy's.
Yeah.
The Chris Makepeace,
Yeah.
the nerd, and then
Yes.
his bodyguard on it. Oh, and there, it was that shot from the movie where they're riding on the motorcycle together.
Oh, my
like
God.
4 years in a row, and then I switched to The Hobbit and did that till high school.
Well, I guess because you have different teachers every year, so they don't know.
So that kind of dawned on me, like, oh, I could just do this again.
Okay, so I have to know: did you reread it every time, or did you just?
Although I
turn in the
reread The
same-
Hobbit because The Hobbit's one of my favorite books. I reread The Hobbit, but I had that 1970. Did you ever see that 1970s version of The Hobbit, the cartoon?
Yes.
Yes.
By Rankin Bass.
Yes.
Yes.
Super creepy. Have you watched
Yeah.
that recently?
No.
No.
Oh, it's really crazy.
It's by Rankin Bass, but it's not.
They produced it, but it's not.
It's not claymation.
It's not claymation.
Okay.
It's cartoon, but they were the production company.
I didn't know that.
I just need to really quickly admit something, which is the whole time you've been talking about The Bodyguard, My Bodyguard, I was thinking The Bodyguard with Whitney Houston and Kevin Costner.
So you thought that he did a book report on? Yeah.
I wasn't good in school, so I 7th grade in '92 or whenever that came
Right.
out.
It's not necessarily more ridiculous.
Okay.
Have you seen My Bodyguard?
I don't know.
Okay, so it's Chris. Well, you probably don't know who Chris Makepeace is. He's the kid from Meatballs.
Okay.
And it's Baldwin.
That narrows it down.
Adam Baldwin.
Okay.
But he's not related to a Baldwin.
He's not a
right?
Baldwin.
Okay.
Okay.
No. And Matt Dillon. Sorry. And it's
When he's young, like
super hot. Yeah,
Young
jerky
teenage Matt
asshole
Dillon.
face. Yeah,
when he's in the movie with
foxes or little
Fox-
darlings.
Little Darlings.
Little
Oh,
Darlings.
Foxes is a much different movie. Okay.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, dark.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I think they're both. I thought they were both kind of dark.
Little Darlings is a little bit dark too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And basically, Chris Makepeace is this nerd, and he befriends this kind of outcast guy who looks 30 years old. I mean, he literally looks younger now than he did. I did
And
a side by
dressed
side on Twitter,
like me.
Yeah.
Like right now.
Yeah, and he's his bodyguard, and it's. Oh, and Ruth Gordon is in it.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
wow, okay.
As his grandmother, and
Now I want to see this.
it's great, but it's horrible. It's just not. It's not a full script. Like you watch it, and you're like, oh, this isn't really a movie. It's just a bunch of scenes. You know what I mean? Like
It's a much better book.
Not according to his book report.
hysterical. That is so funny. I love that.
Do you
so
still have the
much.
book report?
No.
It would be
man, I
great
don't-
if you did and we could read it.
Oh, I wish I could find it. I'll call
It'd be
Miss. I'll
so
call Miss
fun.
Steck.
Yeah.
See if she still has it.
She probably does in her
My
files.
friend Jim Newman, I believe, gave me a novelization of a Family Ties episode. But other than that, I don't know that I've ever actually read a novelization of a. And I hate when you buy a book and the movie is based on the book, but they use the movie picture.
I do too.
On the
Don't
cover.
do that to me.
I feel so humiliated when I'm walking around with Tom Cruise's face or whoever it is
Yeah,
on.
Kate Winslet.
Yeah.
She's done a lot of those.
There seems like there was a time in the late 70s, early 80s when they would novelize or whatever you called it, the movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there, because I
Novelization,
remember
yeah.
there was one for like The World's Greatest Hero and a couple like those, especially those Disney ones. So I feel like
Oh,
we had a bunch of
definitely.
those
Yeah,
in the house,
yeah.
you know?
So, the point is, Murray, you're
Yes.
here to tell us about a crazy story that has to do with a pirate. So, walk us through what that means exactly.
What a pirate means?
No.
I was hoping you covered that on the first half.
You kind of did.
Okay.
We kind of got that.
Okay.
Walk us through your story. What happened? When was this?
Oh, this was years ago when after 92 when I did my book report. Oh, actually, probably around 90, early 90s. It was the early 90s.
Okay.
I just moved out here.
To Los Angeles, California. Just broke, no place to live.
From Indiana, no.
No, from New Jersey.
Okay.
Technically from New Jersey, kind of by the way of New York. So I moved out here and I befriended some movie extras.
Okay.
These kind of like, we're all the same age, college age.
Sure.
One of them was in school. One of them was in a band. They weren't, those weirdo extra who make a living at extras. And one of them was also worked at Central Casting. Not Central. There was another extras casting place, and I can't remember what it was, but it rivaled Central Casting.
Off Central Casting.
Off Central. To the left. And so she would just book these guys. I'd be like, hey, come be an extra in blah, blah, blah. Come be an extra in The Bodyguard. Come be an extra in blah, 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 or whatever.
Right.
And so they called me one day and they're like, hey, man, you want to make $100? We're going to go drive to USC and be extras in this giant scene. I'm like, I'm in. I'm broke.
Yeah.
I'm in. I'll take $100.
Right.
No problem. So I walk over to my friend Andy's house or apartment and we're waiting outside. I'm like, let's go. And he's like, oh, we're waiting. Oberon is picking us up.
Oberon.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, Oberon? What?
From Midsummer Night's Dream.
Right.
The King of the Fairies.
What kind of name is Oberon?
Yeah.
And he says, oh, he's a pirate. Mm-hmm. And I'm a pirate. He's like, yeah, he's a pirate.
That explains everything.
Right. I'm
He
like,
just said it matter-of-factly, like you should just accept that information.
It's Oberon. He's a pirate.
Okay.
And as the story goes, you'll understand why.
Okay.
You just accept that.
Okay.
So I'm like, what do you mean a pirate? And before he can even answer, Oberon pulls up.
In a steamship.
Surprisingly, Chevy Nova. That's what pirates ride when they're landlubbers, apparently. He pulls up in a Chevy Nova and he gets out, and Kristine, my hand to God, he was a fucking pirate.
Okay, please walk us through this.
Black beard.
Okay.
The point. It's not a 3-pointed hat, but the hat.
The pirate hat. Okay. Yeah.
No patch, unfortunately. Hoop ear. I'm sorry. That's really disappointing. Hoop earrings.
Okay.
Puffy shirt. Vest.
Whoa.
Knee-high leather boots. Whatever. Black pants. The whole big belt.
No, did this seem
I remember him as like 6'4" also.
Okay.
You gotta be
an imposing
if you're gonna
pirate.
wear that.
Yeah.
Did it seem like he was in a costume, or like this was just these were his clothes?
Kristine, I'm glad you asked. This was his clothes.
Okay.
He was a pirate. Here's what I found out. Is he sailed around Catalina Island doing pirate shows.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But that was his job.
So what is a pirate show? You mean like in Vegas when they're in front of whatever that hotel is where they like...
Treasure Island.
Treasure Island.
Yeah, I guess that would be the one. Excalibur. Where they like... They're talking. They have a script, and they're
Ahoy,
doing
matey!
like, yeah.
I'm assuming I never got a chance to see his.
Right, you didn't see him in
but I'm
action.
sure he's sailing around Catalina Island, swinging a sword, and grabbing women and throwing them over his shoulder. The whole pirate story.
Some light raping and pillaging.
Right, but here's the thing, like. He was never stops being a pirate.
Okay.
Like he's a pirate.
He's the Daniel Day-Lewis of Central Casting.
Let's call him
24/7 pirate.
Oh wait, that's a good question. Did he do the extra work?
Well, that's why he's coming down. He's going to be an extra with
So
us.
he's going to unpirate himself for this role.
No. This is matter of fact. So I'm glad I never even think of this. It was a baseball scene.
Okay.
So we're in the stands of a baseball with a pirate.
Okay.
He's not changing. This is take me or leave.
Pirates like baseball
Listen
games?
to Oberon's story. He is 24/7 pirate, Danielle.
You
do not half-ass pirate.
You're right. He's committed.
Do you remember what the movie was that you guys were extras in?
I don't, but I bet if I Googled it, I could look it up. I want to say Tom Selleck was in it.
Okay. Baseball.
Oh, I know Tom Selleck was in it because completely tangential. Sorry. You ever see when people like meet celebrities and they don't know how to talk to them?
Yes.
All right. This guy walks up to Tom Selleck. I just thought of this. I haven't thought of this in 30 years. And he goes, Mr. Selleck, how do you like your doors?
What?
And then Selleck's like, I handle it well. He's like, excuse me? He's like, yeah, my cousin's uncle did your doors in your house.
Oh, God.
And everybody around him just did everything you guys just did. Everybody just cringed. And he's like, oh, they're good. Thanks.
Now I have a connection to you. I'm so excited. That's hysterical. I do remember a baseball movie with Tom Selleck, but I don't remember what it was.
Okay,
so
I don't know if it's a baseball.
I was going to say Mr. Baseball. I swear to God I was going to say Mr. Baseball, and then I thought I was wrong.
92.
Oh, that might be a little early, but it might be.
Did you say 92?
90? It's early 90s, but I don't.
Well, by the time it
92,
came
I just
out.
gotten here. Maybe.
Oh, you think it's later than
I think
that?
it might be later.
Oh, okay.
Look in the.
Maybe you did pick up
Is there a
scenes.
pirate in the background?
Okay, so
All right.
so he pulls up.
Spoiler
He's in
alert.
full.
Yes.
We never make it to the thing. So.
What? So how did you hear?
No, we did. I'm sorry, we did.
Are you
Because
in
you
Mr.
heard-
Baseball or are you not?
But you heard the Tom Selleck.
I know. We heard the Tom Selleck, so maybe we did make it.
Maybe you saw Tom Selleck in a different
Maybe
circumstance.
it was a 2-night gig. Now that I think about it.
Maybe you were at a mustache convention.
All right, maybe it was a 2-night gig. Anyway, so where were we? Oberon. So
Okay.
Oberon picks us up. Over full pirate.
Chevy Nova.
Chevy Nova.
Love it.
Full pirate costume. We're driving down to USC at night.
Okay.
Get lost. This is
Fun
before
times.
cell phones. Apparently,
Yeah.
92. This is before cell phones. We get lost. Then I remember this is the early 90s in Los Angeles when USC and all that. You grew up here, yeah?
Yes.
So all that is dangerous.
You don't want to get lost down there.
You don't want to
Yeah.
get lost
Yeah.
down there.
Yeah.
Even now, I don't really think you want to get lost down there. But you don't want to get down there.
Right.
It was very gang ridden.
Yes.
And so we're cruising the Nova. We get lost. It's me, Andy, and a guy, Sean,
An Oberon.
and Oberon.
But you were the pirate.
Oberon at the helm, at the
Did
wheel.
Oberon talk like a pirate?
Oh, no.
He
I don't
was
think
just-
so. I don't remember him talking like
He just
a pirate.
acted
He
conversationally.
was just-
Did he seem like a nice guy?
Oh,
Did you like
dude,
him?
Yeah.
The crazy thing, super fucking nice.
Okay, cool.
Like, super chill,
Yeah.
super
Oh,
nice.
chill pirate.
Yeah.
Hey, man, nice to meet you. What's
Yeah.
your name? Murray. Awesome. And I'm like, you're
Okay.
a pirate. Yeah, super chill. He wasn't arrogant, and he
No.
wasn't, didn't have an
Right.
eye patch on. And
No parrot.
no parrot, no sword either, but something else, which will come up shortly. We round the corner, and some dude, I don't know, some dude just comes squealing around the corner, like in his car, and runs into the front or the bow.
Yeah, right.
I don't know my shifting, but
Sure.
I'm assuming it's the bow
Yep.
of the Chevy Nova, and hits it right.
Oh, man.
But just taps it, not severe.
Okay.
damage.
Okay.
And backs up and starts to hit and run us.
Uh-oh.
And so Oberon.
No, he ain't gonna go for that.
No, nobody hits the SS Chevy Nova and gets away with it. So Oberon gets out, and me and Sean. Also, I should probably point out we're probably really high at this point.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So we're probably really
Makes
high at this
sense.
point. And
Including Oberon, do you think?
no, I don't want to
Was he
say
more
that.
of a rummy? He just has a bottle with XXX.
Yeah, triple
written-
X is on it. I can't say for a fact if Oberon was. I don't want to. He's still out there, by the way.
Yeah.
He's still out there.
Oh, good.
I found him not too long ago.
Really?
I found him on the internet not too long ago. So he's
Like
still
you
out
just
there.
looked up Oberon pirate
Yeah.
and you found him.
And he's out there. Yeah.
Pirating?
Oh my god!
I would
love
assume
it.
he was still in a pirate costume. Yeah.
Wow.
Hit it, Garen. All right, so he hit and the dude starts to take off, and now it's
Okay.
really dark, and he's in it was like I remember it was like a tinted windshield or something, but I couldn't see inside. So Oberon gets out of the car and approaches the guy, and they're yelling, and we can't really hear. And all of a sudden, Oberon steps back and pulls out a butterfly knife.
Whoa.
Do you know what a butterfly knife is?
I do.
Do you know what a butterfly knife is? Okay. For those of you who don't know what a butterfly knife is, it's very cool in the movies where you got to flick it open
Yeah.
and then spin it and then flick it back and then boom, the blade comes out. It's not good in a street fight.
Okay.
Because you got to do 30 minutes to get it
And
out.
is it called a butterfly knife because it transforms from an ordinary cylindrical shaped caterpillar-like object into a beautiful killing machine?
And you have to carry it in a chrysalis. Or,
Right.
Is that right? Is that chrysalis? Is that right? Is that
Poopa?
what-
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
what they're
Yes.
called?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so, yeah.
All right. They're they butterfly because they
Yeah, I know.
you swing it around. And so we see him fumbling for his butterfly knife.
Oh my
to get
god!
it
So he's
out.
not even cool about it. It's
Well,
just
I mean-
it's a mess.
Well, now we're like, where's your sword? First,
That
why
would have
are
been
you-
easier.
Yeah, it would have been easier. But then but then we find out why he was so fumbling and nervous because a hand comes out with a gun.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Ooh.
So I missed something.
Yeah.
The guy was gonna hit and run,
Right, he hit and was on his way to run.
and then Oberon gets out of the car.
Gets out of the car.
with the knife.
Not yet, but has it on him.
Okay, but isn't the guy gone?
No, he's backed up.
Oh, he's backed up. Got
and
it.
he's
Got it.
about to go.
Okay.
So Oberon steps in front of him to stop
Got
the
it.
car.
Got it. Okay.
Goes to the driver's side.
Oh, he's asking for trouble.
Oberon?
Yes,
Dude, you don't-
He's gonna loot that car.
Well, you don't hit a pirate's Chevy Nova, man.
No, you're
without
right.
The guy didn't know what he was getting into, obviously.
No, he didn't know there was a pirate in that car.
No, not at all. That is Oberon.
Oh my God, Garen found Oberon. Holy Ghost. Okay,
see.
so Google Oberon Pirate. Is that what you did? Oberon and Pirate, and you found it?
That is amazing.
He's splendid. That's all I can say.
We're going to have to post him on our feed.
Yeah, and
for
this is
sure.
why I'm being very nice about him.
Okay. It does look imposing.
Yes, he can find all of us and hatchet us up.
But again, it was super nice.
He
guy.
won't.
He was an amazing guy. So he stopped the car and he goes around to the driver's side and starts fumbling with his knife and then a little. Now I grew up with guns.
Okay.
Like I grew up shotgun. We had shotguns in my closet that I used to have to move to go play in the closet.
Oh my God.
You know, real quality gun safety in
Wow.
the 70s and 80s. So I know guns. I know shotgun blasts. I've never really had any dealings with a handgun. And he pulled out the gun and he took off like 2 shots. Pop, pop, pop.
Whoa, whoa.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
He's like, I'm shooting this gun.
He shot them in the air.
He shot. That's all I know at this point.
Oh.
You don't know where the
I don't know where, because me and Sean and Andy are on the ground, on the floor of the Chevy Nova, just down. And at first, again, coming from shotguns and a hunting family, which I don't hunt, I'm not here to preach, but I always have to throw that in there. You know, I'm expecting shotguns, so I thought it was a cap gun at first.
Oh, because the noise was relatively calm, so you just got it.
It wasn't like a Clint Eastwood, Dirty Harry with a nozzle out there. It was a small handgun, and so at first it was, and then when we popped up and saw Oberon was on the ground, we were like, "Oh, that's a fucking gun, man! That was gunshots." And so the guy takes off. And we're freaking out. And so we get out of the car. Yeah. And we run over to find, look for Oberon. And then the guy sees us and stops.
Witnesses.
Yeah. And like, but this was the early 90s. And it was like, I had long hair. Uh-huh. My buddy had a goatee. He must have thought like, more fucking pirates. Like, right? Oh my God.
Grunge or they're pirates? Who knows? Beware the flannel of the Blackbeard gang.
So he stops, kind of backs up for like 10 feet, hits the brakes, rolls down the window, and takes 3 shots at us.
Oh my God.
And
he was not messing around.
No, he was not fucking around. And so obviously we hit the ground and just flat out hit the ground and saw Oberon.
Yeah.
Who was hiding behind the tire. Mm-hmm. So he didn't
not
get
very
shot.
piratey.
Not very, but again, if we were on the high seas, I think he could have handled himself a little better. But
he's not used to not rocking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I think if a guy pulled out a cannon, maybe.
Yeah,
he would have known what to do.
Yeah, for sure.
Like some sort of trebuchet.
Yeah,
exactly.
Hook hand, he would have been ready.
If there was a whale involved, I'm sure he could have. Sure, he could have handled
taken
that.
down a whale.
Yeah.
Right.
So we lay down and freak out, and then the guy just takes off. The guy takes off, and we just get up, dust ourselves off, and it was one of those. It was one of those where your adrenaline is going. You don't know whether to laugh. You don't know whether to cry.
Yeah.
You don't know whether to yell.
Shit your pants, maybe?
You don't know whether to shit your pants. We did all but shit your pants.
Okay.
we laughed. We cry. We freak. This is the first time I've ever been shot at.
For sure.
Hopefully always remember your first.
Yeah.
You say that like we've all been shot at, and this was your
I lived in
initiation.
Hollywood in the 90s.
Oh my God. And did you see like the spent bullets on the ground? Like, were they rolling around?
Oh, you know what? I didn't even look.
And was Oberon, he wasn't injured?
No, he wasn't injured. He was on the ground.
But you didn't know.
But I didn't know. We honestly thought
Right.
he was down because, we hid behind the seat, popped up, and he's nowhere to be seen. We're watching the whole thing, and then he's nowhere to be seen.
So this guy's just a bad shot.
Yeah.
Or he was trying to scare you.
Or he was trying to scare.
Yeah. It worked.
Yeah. So success on the second one.
Yeah.
It scared the crap out of me. And it was like that adrenaline, kind of just freak out. And I remember going home and getting drunk, but I guess we made it to.
You weren't going to lose out on that $100.
I guess we made it to the show because I remember being an extra there, unless we went back the next night. But I do know the rest of that night when we went back to my apartment, we stopped by and got like 4 bottles of vodka.
Yeah.
And just fucking
I bet.
sat in my apartment and drank ourselves silly.
Well, you had to pour it like all over yourself and just inoculate yourself.
Yeah.
Did you ever have more run-ins, or did you ever see Oberon again?
I've never seen Oberon again. I never saw him after that. I'm trying to think because I did hang out with those guys a lot and did a couple like extras in movies and TV shows and stuff. But I don't think Oberon ever came up again.
Did they
He got on the Flying Dutchman and said goodbye.
Did they let you know how they met him?
I want to say they were probably extras on Hook. It would be my educated guess.
are you serious?
I swear to God, I'm assuming. Darren, give me the year on that.
Yeah.
That feels like
Late
early
80s.
90s.
Right, it was definitely early 90s.
Yeah.
if not
Yeah, I
late
think you're
80s.
right.
So
Yeah.
I'm assuming they met
my
in
God.
some movie or
What
TV
if-
show like that.
What if before Hook, Oberon was like, it's the 80s. He's like on the road to becoming a stockbroker.
Mm-hmm.
He is just gotten out of school and someone says you can make some money. He goes on the set of Hook. He has caught the pirate bug. He becomes a pirate from then on out. That's what did it.
That could be.
Because
I
it's
like
a
to
chicken or the egg scenario.
I like to think Oberon was what'd you call him? What was he?
Like a
Stockbroker?
stockbroker.
I like to
yeah.
think he was a stockbroker as a pirate. And he's just like, one day he's just
Corporate
like,
raider.
you know what? I'm not feeling it.
Yeah.
There's something else out
Yeah.
there for me, I think.
Yeah.
You know?
The sea,
Like he
the
caught
wind
the
is
pirate bug
calling
when he was
Yeah.
maybe 9 or 10. Like some kids catch the magic bug. They get really into magic
yeah.
when they're little and then they never grow out of it. Maybe he caught the pirate
Yeah.
bug.
I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna say he was born into it.
Okay.
I'm gonna say he was
Yeah.
born a
Like a
pirate.
family of pirates.
Maybe.
Say maybe he's second generation. Or
Yeah,
maybe,
yeah. I mean, this dude's a pirate.
He comes
I'm not.
from a long line of pirates.
I would like to go to Disneyland with him and go on the Pirates of the Caribbean and see if he tells me it's authentic or not.
Or either that, or he gets out of the boat and starts hacking people up.
Yeah. Yeah. He starts chasing after the women
Right in the
He starts
circle.
pillaging.
on the circle.
It's
Yeah.
pillaging and-
Then they don't have that anymore. It's now the women chasing the men.
He's like
But-
he's like that person who gets a job at those haunted houses, but then actually starts killing people.
right.
That's why I don't like to go to haunted houses
Yeah.
because I'm always afraid the person that's like dressed up as Jason is actually like a psycho.
Oh, and that's
who's
just
really
going to
start killing people.
That would be a good movie.
Wow, I've never thought of that.
Well,
She
that's what
thinks
I'm
of
here for.
everyone.
And you just gave somebody an idea.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I think somebody already had that
Podcast
idea.
Murders
Yeah.
of 2021.
It's already happened.
You think so?
Oh, for sure.
My kid's going to one today.
I'm sorry.
At 9?
right.
Is it a scary one?
I would imagine his friend's taking him. I went to a haunted forest one time. This was back in my church days. Like one of the
Okay.
churches like had a forest behind their church.
Okay.
When I was growing up.
Did the church put on the haunted?
The church put on the haunted house. This is how churches worked.
Okay.
When I
Okay.
was going to them. They do something fun,
Yes.
and then afterwards they preach to you.
Okay.
So
That's how they
as
get
a,
you.
as a preacher's kid, I had
Yeah.
to go to every one of them.
Yes.
Oh my God.
So
God.
imagine, like, try bringing your friend to that again. They all for it the first time. They're like,
Yeah.
I'm out. That's
Yeah.
the next
So
one.
what was the haunted forest like?
The haunted forest was really cool, and I remember I had a crush on a girl, so I was acting all tough.
Wait, what? How old-ish were you at this point?
15.
Okay.
15, and I was acting all tough. And I've always been kind of like this is a haunted. This isn't real. Like,
Right.
I've
Yeah.
been pretty good about it. If you jump out at me, I'm going to get scared. But I've always been able to be like, this is a movie. This is
Right.
So I was being all tough and all that shit. And we walk through, and then we get out of the forest, and you think it's over. And I'm fucking tooting my own horn or whatever. That wasn't so scary. Right, ladies? Just playing all cool. And then the farmer, the quote farmer who owned the forest, steps out from behind a tractor with a shotgun.
Oh, my
God.
God.
With blanks it. He's like, get off my land.
Oh, my God. Are you kidding me?
Where I shit my pants.
Wait, did you literally shit your pants?
No, but I fucking screamed like a 12-year-old.
Oh.
It was,
And you were 15,
and
so
I was
that's really
15.
bad.
So, so needless to say,
And the girl was not
the
impressed.
girl was not impressed.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
that
and
is
then, sorry,
horrifying.
I'm going off on such
No,
a
I like
tangent.
it.
I've been a stay-at-home dad for the last 6 months. You're
Yeah.
the first adults I've talked to in a long time, so just let me do this. Then we had to go in for the preaching part, like the.
Oh my God.
But here's the thing: like they made it really kind of cool because they had like a casket with a person in it in the front of the church. Like
What religion is this?
this was Christianity, born again Christianity.
Oh, born again. Okay.
Yeah, but they're continuing the haunted theme. Like
Okay.
and then they did something really cool. Like they had a body in there, and they told real stories about the diphtheria pandemic.
Okay.
Wow.
When people were burying people because they didn't have the technology to hear their faint heartbeat and their faint breath, so they're burying live people.
Right.
Yes.
Is this
Yes,
the thing
yes.
with the bell?
The bell.
Yeah, I think it's somewhere along the line. There's a connection there, and So he tells this whole, and it's just, I'm falling asleep. Right?
Okay.
So we're all sitting in the church.
Here's
in the
a fun
pews.
Halloween diphtheria story for you.
And he tells a story about they buried a guy, and then they realized they didn't bury him right, and so they went and they realized he's alive, and they dug him up, and they threw open the casket, and just as soon as he says they throw open the casket, lights go down.
No.
Strobe light.
No.
The fucking guy in the casket gets up.
Oh my God.
Comes charging the crowd.
Oh my God.
Again, I'm just like, screaming my head off. And then if that fucking farmer wasn't up in the balcony with the shotgun going, I'll get him.
You shot inside the church?
Yes.
Oh my God. Your dad arranged all this?
This was a different church.
This wasn't your dad's church. This is hysterical. This is like, I did not think this is what would happen in a
This
church.
makes
Is this
church
what I missed
sound
out on?
way more entertaining.
I know.
Right. And then, boom, prayer.
I guess they're trying to scare Jesus into you.
Trying to scare Jesus into
I
you.
feel like that would scare Jesus out of me.
I don't know. That is amazing.
I tell you what, I didn't make out with her on the way home. That's for sure. I did
No,
not.
you were too busy sobbing.
She was holding me. She was holding me.
Oh, my God, that's insane.
Yeah.
Well, Murray, I just can't thank you enough for coming by.
Well, thank you for having me.
That
I'm a
was-
big fan of your show.
Those were
thank you.
great stories.
I haven't thought of that Halloween story in forever.
Oh
so
my
thank
God,
you so
that's
much
great.
And if Oberon's listening, the dude's a cool dude, man. There's nothing.
I'm sure
I hope he's listening
is.
because,
There's
I mean,
nothing shameful in ducking out of your way out of
No,
a
and there's
shot.
also nothing shameful in living your truth. And if your truth is you're a pirate, Godspeed.
I
Absolutely.
support pirate living fully.
Yeah, for 100%, as long as you're not actually pirating anybody.
Yeah, don't go on yachts and
No.
shoot people.
Don't.
You shouldn't.
So
Are yachts a big pirate?
that was the first half of the show.
That was the first.
Oh, okay.
People on yachts are, I mean, it's hard to feel sympathy for people on their fancy yachts, but I still don't think you should go on them and just shoot people.
Well, that's fair.
Right?
That's fair. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Murray, do you have, besides For What It's Worth, do you have anything to promote? Do you have any gigs coming up or anything else?
Well, I'm going to hopefully, I say hopefully because every time I book road work, it gets canceled because of the pandemic.
yeah.
So hopefully I'll be hitting the road hard in January.
Okay.
Pacific Northwest areas, Seattle, Portland.
Do you have a website that has your dates or something?
MurrayValeriano.com. I rarely use my website, social media nowadays.
Okay.
Between,
Yep.
Facebook and Twitter, and at Murray V on Twitter, Murray V Comedy on Instagram, Murray Valeriano on Facebook, and catch all my dates and
Okay.
various random stories that I just write for the hell of it.
Oh,
there,
fun.
which are
Wonderful.
fun.
Well, everyone follow Murray and listen to his podcast.
Yeah.
I know we're going to.
And watch the show.
Watch,
The YouTube
Yeah,
show
watch it.
also.
You can
I'm
watch
going
it
to
on
watch it
YouTube.
too. I didn't realize I was just listening because I'm always running around my house doing stuff. So I've
Yeah.
been enjoying listening to it.
One thing I've learned is stepping into YouTube as a guy in his 50s,
Yes.
starting his own YouTube channel, which I highly recommend. It's a lot different than a podcast. Like I noticed, because I had a podcast called Road Stories for like 14 years, something like that. And it, fairly successful, but people listen to it, but getting people to actually watch a YouTube show,
Yeah.
it's a whole different. So I'm learning everything, which is really cool because I like
Nice.
learning stuff. So,
But I would recommend watching it if you can. I mean, I'm sure it's great just as an audio thing too, but it's fun to watch because you're seeing comics interact and it's just fun.
and there
Murray's
are
a
some
great
visual
host.
games.
There
that
are
you
some
might
visual
not be able
games,
to-
yeah. And you kind of see everyone busting balls and
Yeah,
it's fun.
It's a lot of fun. And Danielle, thank you so much for doing it.
Oh, it was a
You're great.
blast. You should have Kristine on. She knows music too. I mean, you don't really have to know music that well because
I know it.
you know it more than I do, honestly. And I did okay.
I saw your Led Zeppelin shirt and I was like, oh, I wonder if she wants to come on the show.
Yep.
I love trivia and I love music. So please, I will have some fun.
Yeah, she would definitely do better than I would probably.
All right. Well, I think I have a spot for you now that I think about it.
Thanks.
Well, that's we're gonna say goodbye to Murray. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
And
I
we'll
don't know if I am a fan of the show. I've been listening. I don't know if I
that's
said
so
that
nice.
earlier.
Thank
so-
you. And we'll come right back with what we've learned today.
Yeah, let's teach everyone some lessons.
So, Chris, what did we learn today?
Well, Danielle, we learned that possums, like cats, come back. Jack in the Boxes are no good for anyone. RichAssholes.com is not a sponsor yet. Kimmel and Koenig present Cocaine Queen Pin.
Number one with a bullet.
Yeah, right. Just let Ben Affleck steer the boat or he'll never go to sleep. Coronado Island is a thing in San Diego. Towel animals are not cruise exclusive. Don't discuss religion or politics or the economy with your pirate. And if you're on a cruise and the shit goes down, stay in your room. Pirates drive Chevy Novas. And what we learned from Murray, you always remember your first time being shot.
So true.
Shot at.
Yeah.
And probably shot.
Yeah, I would hope you'd remember your first time.
I haven't yet, but I think so.
Well, it's a new year starting soon. Thank you guys so much for listening, as always. We really appreciate you guys jumping on board with this new show. And in fact, if you could, go to Apple Podcasts and leave us a review and follow us, we would be so delighted.
Please join us.
And as always, you can drop us a line and let us know if you have survived anything harrowing or hilarious or just plain humiliating. See you next time.
Bye. Hey, everybody. We'd love to hear from you on the social media at Pod How to Survive on Twitter and Instagram. And also, you can send us an email, podcasthowtosurvive@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your survival stories or just say hello. All right. Talk to you later.